Hey y'all, it's been a while. This month has been busy, but there has been some amazing shows. Severance for the main talking point of this episode here, but there's been countless other great shows. I mean, Daredevil is back on air. We have White Lotus season three. But let me turn it over to Jay. Jay, how's this month been on shows for you?
Whew. Okay, so I actually have really enjoyed Severance. Um, we also got. I started watching Paradise. I think we'll touch on that a little bit later. And I also am catching up with some of my anime, so Solo Leveling. Um, and that's been pretty fun too. So yeah, uh, overall, I mean, entertained. Let's put it that way.
Have you started Daredevil yet?
I need to.
Oh,
No.
come on. Oh, it's so annoying. I've been trying to get you to watch the show since season one premiered 10 years ago.
No. I definitely will. I
Yeah.
definitely will. It's definitely up my alley on something that I want to watch. It's just I need to just sit down and then just freaking put it on.
Nah, no worries. I know it's busy. But yeah, definitely once you start watching it, let me know because I know you're gonna love it. It's such a good show. But we were talking about you mentioned just now Severance. Did you watch the finale?
Yeah,
Like,
that's why we're talking about
yeah,
it.
what like I'm just saying, like, what the hell was that? Do you know what
Dude.
happened? Like, do you understand what's going on? Because I don't.
Okay, so that's the thing. Like they answered quite a few questions that I didn't think they were gonna answer, like
Yeah.
what MDR is and what they do, what they refine. And they also
But
answered other things. But no, yeah, I'm still just as confused as
but
season
when you
one.
say they answer like MDR, sure they mention what it does, but did that even make sense to you? They answered it
Oh
with
man.
multiple more questions, which, as a guy who loved Lost, I do enjoy this like mystery box that we're unraveling, but it is frustrating at times.
Yeah, so before we go into it too much, we have a personal rating here. We got the popcorn meter and we
Oh
got
yes,
theater, home cooked, stale. I mean, this is obviously theater. Like,
yeah. This is
yeah,
quality. This
yeah, yeah,
is
yeah.
yeah. This is a high budget quality, real like love and pride into their efforts. Like this is a well
This
made
is,
craft. Ben Stiller, wow.
yeah, phenomenal. And this is probably one of the best sci fi shows I've seen in a while. And
It's not even just
it's
like a
really good.
sci-fi. It's a good
Yes, I
drama.
agree.
It's a good
Agreed.
romance. Like it has horror elements. Like it's yeah.
You
But
also get attached to a lot of the characters. The character
you
development
do.
in the show is just phenomenal.
When you talk about character development or like characters themselves, who is your favorite character in the show?
Okay, look, so this character in season one was the most annoying out of all of them, and I didn't really connect with him. Irving. I
Mm,
love Irving. And I think he has the most tragic story out of all of them, but I still think he is just one of the best characters, one of the best handled characters in the show.
I agree up until the last two episodes. I think they kind of rushed him out of the season quicker than he needed to be.
Agreed.
It was kind of sad because after the whole amazing episode, I think it was Rose Hollow, when he revealed Helly was the imposter, Helena. He was just kind of distant from the group ever since then. Like he didn't join the group again. He never reconnected with them, and it felt kind of distant. And I actually loved him from season one, so I was kind of disappointed that he was more away from the group and not with the group.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, and he's definitely a character that I don't know. Is that the last of him? Are we gonna see
No,
more of him?
I mean
But
he's
yeah,
painting. He's been painting that hallway, that black hallway. So
and
there's
how does he
more,
know about it?
and he keeps going to that phone booth, calling somebody and talking to somebody about something. So there's more to his story, and he's coming back.
Right.
As is Bert. Bert is not gone either. He's definitely coming back.
Gosh.
But we can get into that and I guess the more theory side of things.
Exactly, exactly. What
Yeah.
about you? Who's your favorite character, and why
I
is it
have
Helena?
no, I gotta say it's Milchick. Milchick is my favorite.
Oh,
From season
milkshake.
one,
Ooh.
all Milchick, yeah, from season one all the way to the new season, season two, whatever. He steals every scene he's in.
He does.
And not only that, like he's equally like scary, funny, and like I want to grab a drink with you versus I don't even want to be alone in a room with you. Like I don't know how he's able to switch it on and off. When he was handing Dylan like his was a nation letter, and then he drops it like it was all serious, all tense. He drops it on Dylan and then just runs out the door.
Runs on.
It's just like who thinks so? Just like just random.
Okay, the screen share that I didn't think I would have loved seeing it as much as I did was Drummond and Milkshake.
Oh my god.
Their back and forth is brilliant.
It's sad to see what happened to Mr. Drummond because he was also quite an empowering statue of the season. I liked his character. He was kind of like that straight like straight face, stone kill. Like
Yeah,
you just didn't want to mess with him, but no, he got messed with.
yeah, he did. He did.
That punch
Okay.
when he punched Mark, that was the most cartoonish. Like his head bobbled for a second. I thought he died. Gosh.
So, what has interested me over this episode, the finale, was up until this episode, we couldn't definitely say if Lumen was truly evil. Because up until this point, we could never say if they actually wanted to harm anyone or kill anyone. It
What?
was, well, yeah.
Did you not watch the episode with what I can't remember her name now, but the Sweet Vitriol episode, uh Cobell backstory? They ran a town into the ground, made
But
everyone
that,
homeless and sick.
yeah, but that's corporate America. Like, what I'm trying to say is this is the first time where we actually see them. In all of the episodes, it's implied, it's implicit. This is
Okay.
the first one where it's
Uh,
completely explicit, where it's like, no, no, these guys are terribly evil and they will kill people without a second thought.
I mean, you also saw that in the Chicahai Bardo episode, where you see Casey, Gemma, and how she's basically being tortured by them throughout the last like 10 minutes of the episode.
True, but it's
I
not to
think I,
where
I
it's
think blatant torturing and holding somebody hostage
right.
is as dark as you can get without killing someone.
But the thing is, we still had uncertainty as to what the circumstances. Did she voluntarily want to do it? Was she doing this for Mark? Like, there were so many
Hmm.
uncertainties
Okay, I see what you
where
mean.
you could kind of make it out to where, maybe
Okay.
she signed up for it just like the way Mark did.
Okay, so you were just waiting for that like that legality question, that morality.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay. Okay, I see
Right.
what you're talking about.
And this is that breaking point. This episode, and I think that's also the part where it took me out of the show because up until this point, everything was very implicit, very corporate America. This is
Hmm.
the final one where it was like, no, no,
Yeah.
this is like, in a sense, comically evil.
I mean, but
I'm
also
using that
kind
term.
of
I'm
yeah.
using a term loosely.
I mean, it kind of makes sense though, because the whole entire company is comically evil by the stuff they do. How Kier is like brainwashing everyone, and
Yeah,
it is very comically, like humorously evil, but it's very on the nose about it. It's not
yeah.
in your face.
Agreed. And that's the part that I actually really enjoyed because I love playing devil's advocate. It's like, okay, legality wise, they can kind of get away with it because, hey, in corporate America, if you leave a town, that's not your responsibility. You
No,
gave them jobs for a while. I mean, you found a better opportunity, globalization. It's like there's
unfortunately,
that whole aspect that you can kind of argue for them. This is the one where like, oh, okay, no, no, these guys
no.
are
There's
freaking
no
crazy.
argument. There's no yeah. Um, I know we touched on what's going on with MDR. Are you able to piece together what are they doing with Casey slash Gemma? They have Gemma captured. He said he's building. She said Corbell said they're building more Gemma severed people. I don't know. They said they've done 25 now.
Right, right,
So like
right.
there's 24 other completed what?
So it's to me what it sounded like was she had been split 24 times. There are
Oh
24
shit.
innies of her basically.
So she's like a fraction of who
And
she is.
right. And that was the interesting part. It's like MDR, they're refining her brain to where she doesn't have any emotions, she doesn't have fear. It's those
Yeah,
envy, yeah,
yeah, no,
whatever.
yeah.
Yeah,
The Kier commandments or whatever,
exactly.
yeah. Um, but why? So that makes sense to have, I guess, someone who's that close to her, be the ones taking those emotions out, Mark. But then what's the implicit or what's the necessary need of bringing in like someone that she's never met before, like Irving or Dylan or Helly or whoever Mark's friend was in season one. I can't remember the actor's name or the character's name. Where was their relationship to
Yeah,
Gemma, I
so
guess?
so
Like,
that's actually a really interesting question. And is it that there are more people like Gemma on that floor that are more closely related to these other people? Or
but
were they genuinely
so
just all working on Gemma's mind?
if you
That I don't
see
know.
nah, don't guys in the comments or whatever, let me know if I'm mistaken here, but I read it off of a Reddit post and they said on the post that Dylan was working on a case from season one, the one that he won the piece of the waffle party for, was also one of the 24 cases that Mark was referencing that they completed. So that means they completed them as a team. So it's not just
I
individual files.
see.
So
Okay. But maybe that's why Mark was their best refiner because
mhm.
maybe anyone can do it, but
Okay.
when you're closely related, you just do it better.
So that might be why Kier was the head of Kier was watching because it was kind of like let's see if this is the fastest method or something maybe because he was like this is the big 25 but like if this is the big 25 why y'all closing it at 25 why are you not gonna push to 30 or 45 or 100 why was 25 the end goal or like the end segment of this test.
Maybe that would have created the perfect split in a sense. I don't know.
Yeah.
So one thing that was really interesting when when they were when they were re-kidnapping Gemma or when they were freeing
Okay, yeah.
Gemma. Let's
Yeah.
say freeing.
Freeing, yeah, releasing or
Yeah,
rescuing, yeah, yeah.
yeah. So when they were freeing Gemma on that level, that one scientist dude was like, he basically yelled out, "Please don't! You're gonna kill all of them." What did he mean by that?
Two things.
Okay.
And I think the show can do whatever they want regarding two things. One, they are thinking of a bigger global disaster to take place within the show. The showrunner is probably thinking big scale now. Or two, the writers are thinking big scale, but they decided they can't do it. It's not feasible, and it's going to be a throwaway line just to try throwing out or throwing up Mark, like making him halt, making him think. It's more of his. I feel like they can go either direction, and I think it's depending on if they have the budget or money to go the grand scale. Because I feel like now that Gemma's out in the real world, she can now publicly testify against them, so things can get big scale now. So,
Okay. So I like that you brought the publicly
mhm.
go against them. But we did have a twist at the end. What did you make of that?
Oh, you mean when like Mark left, or
Yeah, yeah.
like that's
When Mark
Helena.
freed her.
Helena's pulling the strings. No, like there's
Exactly.
no because when Helly was in the office, she said like I'm her, implying like you go with your wife. Like I can't separate who I am from Helena. But then at the end of the episode, you have Helly now saying, "No, no, come with me."
Yeah.
That's two. And then what is it that Irving said that identified that Helena and Helly were two different people? You're cruel. Helly was never that cruel. That's a cruel thing to do.
And the way she looked at
Oh, that was
Gemma.
such a mean mug. That was no, that was mean. I felt bad.
Yep.
No, that was Helena,
And
100%.
and that's the thing. It's like now Gemma and Cobell and her sister, Mark's sister, they're
Hmm.
all at the behest of Lumen because
Yeah.
they have Mark.
Yes, but at the same time, Gemma is also out, and they could go ahead and use Gemma's knowledge as like a way to release Mark. Like, hey, you got to release Mark, or we go public. And I feel like going public is a far more threatening thing for a big company than holding a guy hostage. Wouldn't you think so? I feel like going public, losing stock shares, losing the consumer support, going against legal action against the government, depending if they're not already bought by the government.
So
We haven't seen, yeah,
I definitely agree with you, but I feel like they've set up groundwork here to where we can see multiple splits of the same person with Gemma, right?
yeah,
What's to say that they're not going to do that to Mark? And
start
we
splitting him.
don't, yeah, we don't know what Mark we're going to get when he gets into the outer world because they've already done the overtime thing. So their range is infinite.
That is true. What if they release an overtime contention Mark to the real world so they can control his
Exactly.
actions? Or yeah, ooh, that could be because I feel like if and if you don't like this idea, let me know. But I think if they want to be risky yet also unique, season three, Mark should take a major back burner. Like he should be a supporting cast member while Gemma takes the supporting role and
Like the
had the
lead
role
role.
reversed, like as a real,
I
yeah, as a
see.
lead. Now she's trying to rescue Mark. And in this case, Mark is so oblivious. They wiped his memory, they clean slated him, whatever they want to do with um the severance brain swap or brain turn off, whatever, where he has no idea that Gemma's alive and he's still working his day to day thinking Gemma's dead.
Right, right.
And
And
that's would
they've
be such a fun, unique twist on the whole Severance. Now she understands what the issue is, and he doesn't. The roles all reversed, and I feel like kind of cool, kind of be cool.
the the thing with that though is they would have to reintegrate her for her to understand everything.
Yes, but
But they're gonna reintegrate 25 different versions of her.
well, it depends. It depends. Is does she have to go down like 25 levels to unlock each one, or like each room to unlock the other levels? So if she's in the real world, is all the other levels are turned off, and she's only Gemma.
She's
We
only
don't
Gemma,
know.
right?
Yeah,
Right.
so she'll
It
be.
seemed like she was just Gemma.
Yeah, so she should be fine unless Lumen starts switching the other code.
No, no, no. What I'm saying is if you need her to help get Mark out,
Hmm.
for her to understand the entire process, she would need to know all the other experiences of her.
I mean, that's only to get to the understand the, I guess the torture experience, but for her understanding that she needs to rescue Mark as an ultimate goal and that Lumen is torturing him, she might not have to need it. She don't need to remember how to do it.
Okay, I
She just
see,
has
I
to
see.
know that this is the objective, and she can learn it throughout the season, patch that up, but it's gonna be kind of like she's trying to fish knowledge to Mark to waken him back up.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
an
no, I can see
espionage.
that.
Yeah, more
Right,
like
right, right.
espionage versus it happening from the inside out. Because season one and
Right.
two happened from the inside out. Now we go from the outside in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that happening. And what I like is they've set the world up so well
Hmm.
where you really don't know the true limits of Lumen.
And see, that's what I loved. And I noticed a hot take because apparently people online didn't like Sweet Ritual, that episode with Corbell as the lead. It was a short episode, so it didn't like drag the pacing down or anything. It was like an hour, 15 minutes of just her. It was a 40 minute episode, but it expanded the world so much. It showed the outreach that Lumen had. It wasn't just that one city that
Mm-hmm.
the show has been taking place in. It's global. It's across state lines. So that's why I appreciate it, and it added so much like plot surrounding what Lumen really represents, and I think the show needed that. Otherwise, the show would have felt kind of condensed two seasons, and you need to now expand the world.
Right. For sure.
Yeah.
it definitely wasn't my favorite episode, but I thought it was a solid episode to expand the world.
Yeah, I just don't know why people online were roasting it. They
I think the
seem to just
pacing,
hate it.
in my opinion,
Yeah.
I thought the pacing was a lot slower than it needed to be. I think the whole scene of Cobell being in that bed took a lot longer than it felt.
Well, it's now sympathizing her. All of season one and up
Yeah,
until this point, she was the villain, all right?
yeah,
So now it's their way of showing that there's more to this character than her being a blind, loyal soldier of Kier, right?
right, right. Yeah, for sure, for sure.
She's now waking up. Kier killed her mom, uh, tore her family apart, ripped the town from all of its jewels. What is that they're mining? The ether they keep saying? What is
I have no
ether?
idea. Yeah, and then we also got the big reveal that she's the one that created
Created
the whole
the.
severance
Yeah.
thing. So really interesting. And this season we got that Miss Huang, that girl, that little the young
Oh,
girl.
Miss. Okay, she was hilarious. I still don't have any idea what the hell's going on with that character, but she's hilarious. She cracks me up.
Yeah, I know. It's like Milchick is just so harsh on her. It's like, why are you so hard on this little
But
girl?
this little girl is instigating it. Don't you have your report to do today? How was that? Like she's poking the bear, and she knows what she's doing. And it's watching those two butt heads all season long was hilarious.
It was. Because I think initially he thought she was the reason he got that review that he uses big words. Later to only find out it was Drummond.
Oh, that dig when he was talking
To Kier.
to Kier,
Yeah.
Kier or whatever. Yeah, he was like doing the 25 we find for the Mark's party.
Yeah.
Kier like mocked him for his using of big words, and I was like, Jesus, this robot, this animatronic is like whoever's controlling him is an ass.
It was Drummond though, right? The voice was Drummond.
Is that who it was? I don't
I
think
think. Okay,
it
my
was
bad.
never really
I
explained.
took
Yeah.
it. I took it as Drummond. I thought that's why he had that snark towards
Okay.
Egan.
Yeah. I it
Kier.
could be. You might be right then. I was thinking it was Kier himself.
Yeah.
I think it was an AI. No, but that was a funny back and forth. Like I said, Milkshake. Anytime he's on one on one with any of the characters, it's amazing. When he's on one on one with Dylan, threatening Dylan and his work wife relationship, it was just it's good. Like it's intense, and you feel for Dylan. But
Yeah.
what did you feel about Dylan's story this season?
I will. Hmm.
We might agree.
Okay. Yeah. So there were parts that I thought they tried to expand upon, and there were parts where I just really didn't care for it.
So I loved the idea of what they were doing, but it dragged on a little longer than it needed to be. And because of the side story, same issue I had with Irving this season, he's sidelined all season long.
Mm-hmm.
I thought this whole I'm get to see my work, any Audie's wife and all that. I'm able to interact with the outside world a little bit more. I felt like that was gonna be a rug pulled against him, like either separating the group apart, like tearing them apart, and having like an internal conflict. But it never boiled to that. It was just a side plot that didn't go anywhere besides making his Audi feel more confident.
Exactly. You're absolutely right, actually, because from the end of season one to the end of season two, if you even remove that plot line of him interacting
Yeah,
with the his wife, the Audi's wife, there is no difference in character.
like I said, if the group would have found out that he's having this outer world connection with the outside world, like this hidden conversations, it may have made and Helena as Helena before she became Helly again, like this could have been all early season long stuff, like the first half. she could have revealed the slip of the war, like, but aren't you talking to your wife and outside and tore the group apart where Irving is now confused on who to trust, Dylan or Helly, because he's already having that twist and turn in the Rose Hollow episode. They could have built that up and have the whole Dylan issue be resolved when he decides to turn against Irving, turn against Milchick at the finale. That would have
Right,
been able to
right,
wrap it all up around. He's like, okay, yeah, sure, I want to behind y'all back, but I'm ultimately team you guys, right?
right. Yeah, I think
But
the payoff would have been better when
yeah,
he brought that vending machine thing.
because as much as I was like, yay, that was cool, he decided to stay and not resign, but like at the same time,
You're effectively resigning. I mean, they're
yeah,
gonna fire your ass.
because you just trapped him inside the bathroom, so you're fired. So I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's my probably my biggest gripe of the season was Irving and Dylan this season because I loved them in season 1. Season 1 they were
Yeah.
brilliant.
Yeah. Agreed.
And
Agreed.
when I say I'm disappointed or something, or like I didn't like that plotline, I'm not mocking the show at all because even with like minor issues, I still love Dylan as a character and his plotline was engaging. It was just I wanted more for him.
Absolutely. And look, there's still gonna be more seasons. Maybe it's stuff
Exactly.
that they'll touch on later. Uh,
They could be building up this whole split office situation that I'm thinking of for season 3, maybe.
right. Exactly.
Like
And the truth is, there's so many theories out there. Please definitely put it in the comments. We're touching on so few right now.
this is a very high concept show. Like it can go
Yeah.
any direction, and at the same time, like honestly, the biggest selling point of the show is just the cinematography. Like outside, don't even worry about the story, the complexity, the um wild nature of like the show itself. It's just a beautifully shot show.
It is, and it's such an engaging story because of the cinematography. I think the cinematography is its own character, and it's so well done. The music is
Oh my
brilliant to
gosh.
begin with as well. So yeah, it's definitely a show that AK and I we might gripe about it, nitpick on it, but it's just because I think we just can't wait to see more. Not
And we're
that we
scraping at the
think it's bad.
barrel.
Yeah.
Like we're scraping at the barrel for these like complaints because it's a near perfect show. Like I would honestly think this is like a 9.5, 9.6
Yeah,
season.
absolutely.
I want more, and I want season 3 like yesterday. I can't wait a whole year, even though I watched 2 seasons in a matter of a week.
Yes, you did actually.
I watched some Creek. I actually caught up for the finale to watch it live.
Yeah, actually, AK watched the finale before I did, and I started the show like way long ago.
Yeah, when I like something and I have nothing going on, and I had nothing going on all of last week, I just binged it all. And now this week onwards, I'm gonna be busy with other stuff. So I'm like, I'm glad I got that out of the way, but now I want more. So I'm like, now all I'm gonna be doing is thinking of the show and want to rewatch the show.
Oh my god, I
You
know.
guys are
On
rewatching it right now, aren't you?
Yeah, on rewatch, holy shit, there's so much that we missed the first time.
I can only imagine. Yeah, I definitely rewatch the show probably soon. I think I'm gonna have to.
Yeah. I think that's really it for me. I think relationship wise, Cobell and Mark still very weird. The way she says Mark.
Yeah, it's kind of like a because in season 1, it seemed like she had more of an admiration, like a relationship that she wanted to
Yeah,
build with them. Like it wasn't like a mothering, nurturing thing. It was more creepy. And then
yeah.
she just doubles down this season of being just creepy as hell. I like the acting. She's fantastic, but
She's brilliant. She's
I
brilliant.
still don't know if I trust her or not.
Yeah, you know, I saw an interview of the actress who plays her, and she talks the exact same way. It's
Does she
so
really?
funny. Yeah.
Oh, before we move on from Severance as a whole, shout out to my girl Brienne of Tarth, Gwendolyn Christie, kicking ass like always, taking down Drummonds. I love to see her kick ass. What can I say?
She's just a goat lady, and it's just awesome.
She's She's such a great actress, and she's so like I feel like she needs to be utilized better in Hollywood.
I agree. I definitely agree.
But I guess moving on from Severance, I know you mentioned earlier Paradise. How far are you guys in that show?
Okay, so look, Paradise starts off as with a bang. I think you know what I'm talking about. Um, I, I think it's a good show. I find it very predictable, and at times that kind of bores me. But I will say, I think it was like episode 5 or something that actually caught me a little bit off guard. I thought they did a better job. The
What episode
music
was
is,
that?
uh, I think it's when he puts the sign in the sky, like I'm watching you or something. I don't know.
Oh, you guys got there? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I think every episode after that is great. I think that
Okay,
was like the
perfect.
last like episode. It was a good episode still.
Yeah, yeah, that was a good one. But I will say the music is really, really good in this show. They do
Even the
such a good
cinematography is
job with it.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's shot very beautifully. The production is great on the show. I agree. There's a lot of plot holes, not plot holes, just like odd plot decisions. But overall, I enjoyed it. Like Sinatra and Collins, like their back and forth is fantastic. Jane is such a wild card that I enjoy. It was, Williams was a great, unfortunate character that left pretty quickly, but there was great characters in the show, which is why I enjoyed it a lot.
Right, right. No, they are really good characters. The therapist, she's also really good.
Yes, I forgot.
Drawing a
Yes.
blank on her name. So yeah, overall, it's a solid show. Something I can definitely recommend
Yeah.
to
I
watch.
finished it. I definitely think it started great. It fell in the middle and it got good again towards the end. And
Okay.
I hope if they do a season two, and they definitely should because they left it at such a not a cliffhanger because they resolved a lot, but they left it open ended. So I hope if they do like a season two. I hope they kind of like fix the pacing slightly more. That's probably my biggest
Mm-hmm.
complaint, just pacing.
Yeah. I thought they did get confirmed for season 2, but I could be mistaken.
Oh, have they? Okay, I
Yeah,
have. Yeah,
I
you.
could be
I
mistaken.
don't know. Yeah. Another show I know you and I both have been gushing about, Invincible season three finale. What the hell was that?
Okay, so I will say this. I think the animation is lacking.
The finale though, animation stepped up. That looked good.
It did. But the episode prior to that,
Yeah.
I noticed it was not very good.
But then again, I feel like they can get away with some cheaper animation because the art style of the show kind of fits, more. It doesn't really look bad on it. It's noticeable, but it's not like in your face like this is ugly. It's just like, yeah, it's whatever. The story is what I feel like makes the show great.
So what I really like about this show is we're 3 seasons in. Crazy shit has happened, but we haven't even touched on the stuff that's going to happen, and I
Yeah,
cannot wait on
I
where the show goes.
yeah, because you know the storyline for the most part, right?
Parts.
Parts. I am very clueless on what is going on with the Viltrumites, what's going on with Conquest, Cecil, and everything in between all that. I have no idea what the hell's going on. And there's so many plot lines going on in the show where we had an episode where he had to take down Immortal, who's an emperor of Earth. Like what? Like there is some wild ass like plot lines, and I'm enjoying every second of it.
The finale, the way Conquest comes in and the way he wrecks Eve, I was just like, holy
Yeah, so
shit.
Conquest is a character I've heard mentioned like in the comment sections on like videos or like on Reddit or like Twitter. I no idea who he was. He showed up for maybe 45 minutes with no previous mention, no backstory, no explanation, and he just kicks ass. And now you remember that name, and we don't know who he is. We just know he just came in and kicked ass, and yeah, we all remember who he is now, right?
Jeffrey Dean Morgan. Oh my God, that man.
Hey, Glenn got his revenge on Negan. Oh, it's always great to see Jeffrey Dean Morgan in a TV show. He steals
Yeah,
every scene he's in. He's such a great actor
he
and a
does,
voice
and he has a
actor too.
great voice. Yeah.
Ooh, that's a powerful voice.
Okay, so Mark and Cecil have had this back and forth all throughout the season. It feels like he left season three on better terms with Cecil. It's like kind of like they're slightly more talking.
I mean, he left
Um,
season two on good terms with Cecil. He left season one on good terms with Cecil. Mark doesn't understand that Cecil will ultimately always do what is better for humans, regardless on how it affects the heroes.
right. So my question to you: in your shoes, what would you have done if you were Cecil?
First off, I don't ever want that stress on my shoulders. I would fucked up that situation years ago. There would have been an Earth at this point if I was in control. But if I had his balls and I had his power, I mean, when you're dealing with a guy like Mark, who broke into the Pentagon now two, three, four times, he is unchecked. He is a walking WMD. As much as I hate to say it, same reason why, as much as I hate to side with Captain America and not with Iron Man, I am on. I mean, I apologize. With Captain America, not but our teamed up with Iron Man is I was Team Sokovia Accords. Unfortunately, as much as I hate the government interfering with a bunch of humans and people, they are WMDs. They can destroy the world, and you have to keep them in check.
So would you have kept Conquest alive? That's
But
my main
yes, you.
question.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about his conflict with Mark. Okay, I'm so sorry.
Mm-mm.
Um,
No.
yeah, you have to. You're about to be invaded by a whole swarm of Viltrumites who wants to take over your world. The best way you can fight them is learning from them, adapting, testing him, taking DNA samples, blood samples, seeing what is penetrable against their skin.
So my only thing against that is you're playing with fire that
But
you
you
don't
are.
actually know. I more take the win when you can get it and figure out the things later. I guess I'm more like Mark, where I'm like, I want to play it safe. This is my win. I'm gonna freaking take it.
But if
I
you
will
do
figure out the
that,
rest later.
you saw how much damage one Viltrumite who's angry did. Imagine when 5 comes, 10 comes, 100 comes. I know they say that Viltrumites are a dying breed, so I think there's like maybe 20 or so left. But imagine if just like one third of those, like 3 showed up. Mark can't take on 3, he could barely take on 1. Eve barely took on, like both of them double teamed them and they almost died. If 3 comes in, you all are dead. So it's better, like you took the win and now learn from your win. You gotta now learn how to better yourself to prepare for 3, 4, 5, 7.
I can see that. What about in the comments? What do you guys think? Would you take the win and just kill Conquest, or would you keep him alive and play with fire? I don't know. It's a
You
tough
have,
situation. It's a
it's
tough decision
tough.
either way. I don't think
It's
there's a right
a,
way or wrong way. I think
no.
it's just different philosophies in a sense.
And at the end of the day, you're fucked regardless. Because if Conquest
Yeah.
breaks out, you're fucked. And if the
Yeah.
Voltmarch comes, you're fucked.
Okay,
So,
not only are you fucked, you're also screwed up with Mark again.
I mean, at that point, it doesn't really matter. If Conquest breaks out, it doesn't matter if you screwed up or Mark. He kills everyone. He's gonna be so pissed that he was in that situation to begin with. Yeah, I would not.
Let's pour one out for Rexplode, man.
Oh,
I'm really gonna miss him.
he was always that annoying comic relief that I never got tired of. Like he was
I
over the
loved
top, he was
him.
obnoxious, but I always loved that character. And the actor, I always forget his name. He is such a
Uh,
good actor.
yes, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, but in everything he's been in, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, even in The Good Place, like everything
Yes,
he's been
Percy
in, he's been,
Jackson. Yeah,
yeah,
he's been
he's
great.
been phenomenal. I absolutely love him.
Badmouth. I think he was in Badmouth as well, right?
Yeah, I think he
Yeah,
was. Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Fantastic actor. He's has such a recognizable voice, and I anytime I see him on screen, I automatically start laughing because he is such a comedic genius with his timing
He
and just
is
his like outgoing nature, I guess. Outgoing
obnoxiousness.
expressions,
Yeah.
obnoxious. Yeah, I don't know, but yeah. But yeah, I really don't know where we're gonna go on with season 4. They left in such a dark place. We do know though that Omni-Man is now broken out of prison. So he may or may not join the cause. We should see what happens. I still think that might be the only thing. The only issue I have with the show is they are slowly redeeming Omni-Man, and I liked him when he had no redeeming qualities at the end of season 1.
Yeah, no. I
Because that was such an
think what's
iconic
going to
scene when he
be,
just like starts beating up his son. He
yeah,
attacks his wife. He destroys half of like the city, and he
we
just
get an
madman.
homage to that.
Yeah, I mean
Conquer's doing the
Conqueror.
same.
Yeah,
I
but
felt so
the
bad for
reason why I
Mark.
liked it in season 1 though is it just takes you like it just catches you off guard. You were not expecting that when he takes on the Guardian of the Globe and kills them all. You're just like, we the fuck am I watching? So redeeming
No,
a guy who is
I get it.
that, yeah, redeeming somebody who is that like fucked. They're doing a pretty good job at doing so. I gotta give them credit on that.
They are, and when
Yeah.
he comes back to Earth, that's gonna be the big one.
Oh yeah.
That's gonna be
He's
huge.
gonna be fighting on two fronts. I don't think anybody on Earth is gonna trust that man, no matter
Yeah,
who or what he says he's gonna do. He's lost
I
all
know.
respect or all. Yeah, no.
Woo, man. I really thought Oliver was a goner.
I'm so glad he lived. Oh my god, if they killed off Oliver, I would have cried because I actually love that character. He's such a
He's fun.
fun character. I honestly think I would have cried.
Yeah. There was
Um,
actually a show that you touched on, Daredevil. How's that going?
watch it.
I've heard the pacing is a little off. What's your opinion on that?
Yeah, so I mean, you could definitely tell. So in the early reshoots of the early drafts of the show, characters like Frank Castle's Punisher, played by John Berthel, was not going to make an appearance. The quality was going to be more toned down, not as mature. It wasn't going to be as gritty. It was going to be apparently more fun. A lot of those scenes are still in the show, but it's paced in such a way to make it more mature, more dramatic, more expressionless because Matt is not a very expressionless person. He's Daredevil. He is a guy on a mission. But I think they handled it well. You could definitely tell some of the pacing cuts, some of the I guess plot threads that they were going to go with, but it was kind of abandoned. But it's very like well cut around. It's well edited. I gotta give it that. I'll say it's well edited, and it is a very beautiful looking show, and the acting is fantastic, and the story has been great so far. It's just you could tell the reshoots sometimes, and it's some characters I kind of wish had a bigger role in the show, which they've already confirmed season 2. Those characters are going to make a bigger appearance. It was kind of like they were brought back in kind of late into the production.
I see, I see.
Yeah.
But they've
I'm trying to
been
be as vague
gone
as
for so
possible.
long. Right, they've
Yeah.
been gone for so long. Them coming back, I
Hmm.
think there was always going to be some issues, but as long as the
Well,
story is
in the
good,
beginning, when we first see Matt and Spider-Man, Far From Home, No Way Home, yeah, No Way Home, Spider-Man 3, it was supposed to be a reboot of Matt Murdock's character as in the MCU. So the whole Netflix universe was going to be thrown away. And in Echo, that's where you see Fisk in his rainbow-colored Hawaiian shirt, dealing with a bunch of funny, no, Hawkeye, yeah, no, Hawkeye. You see a bunch of funny mafia people who are so incompetent because they were going to go take a lighter route with the Daredevil series. But then after hearing the feedback with the Fisk character and Hawkeye, doing Echo, they kind of redone him again, and he's now serious again. Echo, he's more straight, he's more intimidating. Fisk. So that was the issue is they were going to go to more comedy, not comedy, more lighthearted route.
Mm-hmm.
But then they realized due to fans' expressions on how they didn't like how Daredevil was treated in She-Hulk, or they didn't like how Fisk was handled in Hawkeye, they were they were kind of forced to rewrite everything or redo everything on a quick. So season one, you could tell it's kind of edited in such a way to get back to that mature style. But season two, they said is going to be fully committed to that original idea that the Netflix
Yeah.
was going with.
It's like damned if you do, damned if you don't. I'm
Hmm.
glad they took the criticism and tried to make it
Exactly.
better.
They tried
So,
one thing, they gave it two projects. It wasn't that big or that deep in the characters where they had to rewrite so much. It was just kind
mm-hmm.
of like a throwaway line they could throw, like to say, and then they can go back on path. So they didn't
Right.
write themselves into a hole or anything. It flows perfectly fine. Everything still makes sense, and the characters are back to exactly the standard I expect them at from the Netflix universe. So I'm enjoying the hell of the show.
Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, I definitely
Yeah.
can't wait to watch that. I've been watching Solo Leveling. It's an
Yes,
anime.
I know you mentioned that.
So,
It's
so have you heard the term aura farming?
somewhat. I've heard of it.
Okay,
I
so
don't know what it
basically,
means.
it's going with style and looks over actual content in a sense.
So the
Um,
opposite of this.
so I will say that the show is good, and the main character, the MC, he is so overly powered a lot of times that there really isn't a threat for him. It's just his timing. He's almost always late or delayed, but it makes sense. It's like if you have an
Yeah.
MC that's so powerful, you want others to suffer so that he can come and save them.
I want to
And
make sure
that,
when you say MC, you talking about main character?
yeah, main
Okay,
character.
sorry. I want to make sure. I
Yeah,
was like MC. I'm like trying to figure it out.
yeah.
Okay, okay.
No, I get it. I get it. So the whole show, it's based on a very overpowered main character, and I've really enjoyed season two.
Hmm.
I really can't wait to see how the show continues on. And it did break a lot of records. It crashed the anime sites, so it's doing really well.
How
And
many
I can
seasons you
definitely
said?
see
Two?
it's two
Okay,
seasons.
2 seasons.
Uh,
Okay.
it's really fun, and I definitely recommend giving it a shot. But I wouldn't say it's the most content heavy show,
Got
anime.
you. Okay.
It's more, it looks really cool and is really fun. Like they've gone for more
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Okay. Hey, that's the one with that. Sometimes you need
Yeah.
fun. You don't need a severance every time you watch a TV show. You don't need that dry theory crafting show that just makes you sad and depressed. So sometimes,
Exactly.
yeah, you don't need a Daredevil where you just hate every cop and every politician and every person you see in New York City. Like, you don't need a show like that. Sometimes you need a little, happiness and
Levity.
yeah,
Yes.
and that's where I think you need to watch White Lotus. If you like levity, don't watch that. The show is the most depressing. It is the most sad show, and that's why I love it. It's unintentionally funny while dealing with so many sad, traumatic situations and a lot of just do you know anything about the show?
No, no. What is it?
So imagine you watch a show where you see a bunch of rich people go to a luxury hotel and lay all of the dirty laundry out for public
Why?
because they're so insecure, they're so emasculated, they have their own pride and their ego issues, and you're out with family, you're drinking, and fights happens, backstab happens, all the while. So each season opens up with a death. They mentioned someone died this week. and then it goes to the week before, like starting off, and you don't know who dies, and all these characters are despicable. Every character is horrible. Like you hate them all, and you want to see one of them die.
Oh my god.
But at the same time, anything that happens is suspenseful. You could have three people. So like, not spoiling anything, but you could have the new season, season three. You had three girls, middle-aged girls, go out partying, and they're in Thailand, and they're partying. And the whole time, the music and the camera work, you're scared for their lives. Like, I don't know, are they going to die here? What's going on? Like, I don't know why the music, the beat, the camera angles, the suspenseness. You're like, something's gonna happen, and nothing happened. You're like, God damn it! You give my heart rate up for nothing, or like, you see my notes I have written up here. Don't question what the hell I wrote up, but there's a monologue where someone's talking about how they hate that they're a white man, and they think that they should be a Asian girl getting fucked by his white man persona.
What the hell?
That's what kind of show this is. It's unnecessarily funny, yet unnecessarily dry and depressing. It is such a
Jeez.
brilliant masterclass show. That monologue alone, it's you have to watch 3 seasons to get there, but it's worth the mission because you're gonna
Okay.
have so many other monologues that will drive you crazy. So
So tell me, does every season build upon itself, or is every season a standalone season?
I don't want to say too much without spoiling
Okay.
it, but they are anthologies.
Okay.
Basically, it's taking place at the White Lotus Hotel. Each season is a different hotel in a different luxury or like foreign area. So season one was Hawaii, season two, if I'm not mistaken, was Italy, and then season three is in Thailand.
I see.
But they
Okay.
all abide the White Lotus franchise, the hotel
I see.
franchise.
Okay.
And they're
Okay.
like, yeah, a lot of 1%ers go there. So you have a lot of like a lot of these. So backtracking a little bit, each season is about, if I'm not mistaken, is about the cardinal sins. You know, love, greed, and all that stuff. Culture and all that. So it's like season one was about greed, money, and like the woes that brings into everyday drama. Season two is about love or like cheating or like craving for your neighbor, basically, and it's a very fucked up season. And
Oh, jeez.
season three, where it's more religiously written.
Okay.
It's more there's a lot of Buddhist and a lot of like Christian imagery going on. They are in Thailand, so there's a lot of like yoga, a lot of like letting
Mm-hmm.
go, stress is being built up. But like last week's episode built up so much to peak, and why would we log off here in a little bit? I'm about to watch the next episode, so I'm so excited for that. This is a show that there's really no storyline. You just
Okay.
watching people unravel, and because of that, it's
Jeez.
so engaging and it's so sad.
Was season two your favorite thus far, or season one?
I go back and forth. There's a lot of characters I love from season one. I still think my favorite character of this franchise is in season one,
Okay.
but I think season two has far better moments.
I see. Okay. Awesome.
Season
Yeah. I
three, yeah, season
totally
three,
gonna
I'm
watch it.
kind of up in the air about because it's still only like 3, 4 episodes in. So I want to see who dies, and I want to see if that payoff is worth that build up that we're going through because this is
Okay.
a very stressful build up. This season is stressing me out right now.
Oh damn.
But yeah, let me know when you start watching it.
Yep.
And check your heart rate before every episode because it will
Okay.
stress.
Good. Life is so chill right now.
Exactly,
I
that's what I'm
need I need the
saying. We
stress.
were just talking about how there's way too many levities and shit. Like, we have Mr. Milkshake dancing in a band major. It's fun. This is a funny show. We need more serious shows, right? No, that's the exact opposite. We're just yeah,
Oh
but
man.
yeah. Outside of that, like, I'm definitely looking forward to, I guess, more movies coming out this
Hmm.
month. It's been kind of dry on movies. We had Captain America, Brave New World, but nothing out since then.
Yeah.
Thunderbolts come out here soon. But I'm hoping the shows are keep up, man. These shows this month has been fantastic, but I hope the
Yeah.
movies start piling in now. I hope we get some quality films.
For sure. Cannot wait for that. Um Overall it's been fun. And let us know what theories you have. honestly. It will help us a lot more,
Yeah, on any
and
show. For
yeah.
instance, where do you think season three is gonna go? Solo leveling. You said season two just ended.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yep.
season three will be coming out.
Season two, it's
Yeah.
about to end. Not
Okay,
ended
it's
yet.
about to end. Yeah. So maybe how does season two end?
Yeah.
Let us know down below. Right, Lotus? Who dies? What the hell's going on? Invincible. Do not spoil it, so do not leave anything below. But yeah, I mean, outside of that, I have nothing else to talk about here. Do you, Jay?
No, that's it. Peace.
Well, this has been the Popcorn Perspective. Like and subscribe and do all the fun jazz. But you guys have a good day. Peace.